Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is RemovableSanity and today I am reviewing Mask of Mists. This has been developed by Nine Eyes Game Studio and published by Sometimes You. So what is Mask of Mists? Mask of Mists is a first-person puzzle adventure game for those that want a bit of exploration stroke combat without the need for a months-long commitment to complete said adventure. The game boasts only one boss, two different endings, a small number of enemy types, and an average amount of area to explore, with some crafting and some one-on-one combat thrown in for good measure. The premise of the game is that you are a wizard mercenary who has been tasked in finding what happened to the Archmage after researching the cause of a magical infestation who has now gone missing. And this leads me on to the gameplay. From the moment you are warped to the last location the Archmage was seen, you are on your own without any hints to find out what has happened. The gameplay itself can be narrowed down to four parts: exploration, puzzle solving, combat and crafting. All will be done in equal measure in order to progress the story, and by the end will ensure you are fluid with the systems at hand. You are completely defenseless when you start, with only the ability to warp, fast travel in any direction for a couple of meters, as your only way of dodging enemy encounters. Luckily, you don't encounter any enemies until you have solved a rather simple puzzle of finding statue heads and placing them on pedestals in order to get out of the starting area. Placing statues on pedestals will become a regular thing, so get used to it. You are then introduced to a house in where you pick up your first weapon, a sword, and again introduced to more puzzles in order to progress. For me, the puzzle elements are almost perfect, with a solution easily being found very close or spelt out almost directly if you take the time to read the scrolls you find, but also challenging enough to make you stop and think for a second. Most puzzles rely on you exploring to find keys, statue heads, switches, or items in the environment or within dungeons, which then require a bit of backtracking in order to open up a new area with the solution. For example, I needed to open a door that required 4 statue heads, which was buried within the local area. I then had to explore and find a mine that held a shovel, which allowed me to dig up said keys. These interconnected puzzles work really well. I never ever found myself confused or stuck in order to progress, as long as I did a bit of exploration. Exploration is also well done, with enough sizable areas and hidden secrets to encourage you to keep looking for what you need, whilst helping you progress forward. Now, whilst the puzzle solving does guide where you are needed to explore somewhat, it doesn't fully force you to stick to that path. Most dungeons can be explored and tackled in any order you choose, with only a couple blocked off by particular keys. And it does pay to explore, with the result being a hidden key for a puzzle later on, or a plethora of potion materials, or even trading gems or pistol ammo for you to use. Now, during your exploration, you will encounter some enemies patrolling the area you need to explore, and will need to take care of them in order to continue unhindered. Luckily for you, soon after the first area, you unlock some weapons like a pistol for range attacks and the aforementioned sword for melee combat. Whilst the melee combat requires nothing to use, the pistol requires bullets, which will need to be found in order to use it. Now, both deal a moderate amount of damage, but will become redundant when you pick up the upgraded versions found in different areas. Combat is fun, but very simple, with the best approach to all enemies being slash, dodge and repeat. Enemy types are limited and reused often in what I feel to be an attempt to break up the exploration side of the game. Now, for a small game like this, it's not that much of an issue, though a couple more enemy types would have been appreciated. A nice touch is that once enemies have been dispatched, they won't respawn, which helps you when you need to work out which area you have been and haven't been to. Like the exploration, crafting is also heavily tied into the game, with some progression needing particular potions in order to move forward. Crafting is as simple as a button press if you have the required materials, and with it being limited to about 5 potions such as rust removal, breathing potion or health, it is equally easy to craft what you want and when. Plus, crafting tables have been placed around the game close to where they will be needed the most, so you don't have to worry about travelling long distances when you realise you are needing a particular potion. All these core features provide a fun and engaging game that allows the player to enjoy these aspects whilst not worrying about walking into a 50-hour plus adventure. So what about the graphics? For me, the graphics are inviting, bright and colourful with a nice cel-shaded feel to it. Whilst the world itself is vivid and showcases off some lovely vistas, there is also a bit of repetition going on in the mines and dungeons in general. Also, whilst playing, I did notice some pop-in here and there, but nothing that would cause me to stop what I'm doing. The limited enemies are also well visualised, however I did feel as if the character models reacted a bit stiff to my attacks. There is also no gore or blood effects, so this ties in well with it being a colourful child-friendly game. Most effects are done well, such as the fog, but there is nothing visually spectacular that's going to blow your mind here. Explosions can also be a little basic, and I did notice that the foliage is static, but in the end this is nothing that would stop you from enjoying the game's world. And now to the sound. The general music for the game airs on the side of a light piano theme in order to tie into the world's light and magical feel. Character footsteps, swipes of the sword and the general enemy sounds are all well made, but similar to the graphics, nothing groundbreaking. But in the end, they don't really need to be, as they convey the tone that is required, whilst the main focus is on the gameplay. Plus, being a short game, some repetitive sounds are expected, though regardless, I would still recommend using a decent gaming headset to get the best out of what's being played. And this leads me to the rating of the game. Now, I rate games in order of avoid, on sale, great purchase and must own. My rating for Mask of Mists is a great purchase. There are a lot of gamers out there that are limited on time due to family, work or general lives going on, but still enjoy role-playing games and are often frustrated that our limited time means starting said games means hours of broken gameplay, backtracking to remember just the control system, to the final inevitable placing of said half-finished role-playing game on the shelf to collect dust. Mask of Mists is that solution for those on time constraints. The game is currently priced on Xbox at around £9.99 or approximately $12, and depending on your skill and patience would give you about 6 hours worth of gameplay to complete the story. There really isn't anything to get you to play the game a second time except for maybe a particular achievement, but because this is so short, the completionist in you may very well want to do so. Mask of Mists provides you with a fast-paced, light role-playing game with some interesting puzzles. Its limited story and not too challenging combat perfectly suits it being a game that you could complete in a night. For those that don't have much time but still want those core features, this is perfect for you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. I do hope you like this review, and if you do, please like, share and subscribe if you so wish. And if you would like to put some notes or even just a comment in the comment section, I do like reading them. Anyway, have a great time gaming, and I'll see you all again soon.